David, a young shepherd, watched his sheep graze under the warm sun. The gentle breeze rustled the leaves, and the distant sound of a flowing stream added to the serene atmosphere. David loved these moments of peace, where he could let his mind wander freely. He often dreamt of adventures beyond the rolling hills. In his dreams, he saw himself as a brave warrior, facing incredible challenges and emerging victorious. The vast world beyond his familiar pastures called to him, filling his heart with a longing for something more. David was small, but his heart brimmed with courage. Despite his size, he never doubted his ability to achieve great things. His determination was unwavering, and he believed that one day his dreams would become reality. He practiced with his sling every day, hitting targets with amazing accuracy. Each stone he slung was a step closer to his dreams. His skill with the sling was unmatched, and he knew it would serve him well in the future. One day, a messenger arrived with troubling news. The usually calm village was abuzz with whispers and worried faces. David sensed that something significant was about to happen. A giant named Goliath was threatening David's people. This giant was not just any adversary. He was a towering figure, instilling fear in the hearts of all who heard his name. Fear filled the hearts of even the bravest soldiers. The mere thought of facing Goliath made seasoned warriors tremble. The village was gripped by a palpable sense of dread. David listened intently, his youthful face etched with concern. He absorbed every word, understanding the gravity of the situation. The weight of responsibility began to settle on his young shoulders. He knew he had to do something. The thought of standing by while his people were in danger was unbearable. His mind raced with possibilities, each one more daring than the last. David's heart pounded with a mix of fear and determination. He felt the familiar rush of adrenaline, the same feeling he had when he practiced with his sling. This was his moment to prove himself. He believed in a God who could help him overcome any obstacle, even a giant. With faith as his guide and courage as his companion, David prepared to face the challenge that lay ahead, ready to turn his dreams into reality. Goliath was truly a terrifying sight. He stood taller than any man, his armor gleaming in the sunlight. He roared with laughter, mocking the frightened soldiers. David's brother was among the soldiers. David knew he had to help. He approached the king, his voice trembling slightly. "Your Majesty, I will fight Goliath." The king, a kind and wise man, was taken aback. "You are just a boy. Goliath would crush you like a grape," he exclaimed. David stood firm, his voice filled with conviction. He was just a young shepherd, but his heart was filled with courage and faith. The entire Israelite army trembled in fear, but David's resolve was unshakable. "God saved me from lions and bears while protecting my sheep," he said. His voice echoed with the strength of his belief. He recounted the times he had faced danger alone in the wilderness, and how he had always emerged victorious. "He will save me from this giant too," David exclaimed, his eyes shining with hope and determination. He knew that his faith was his greatest weapon, more powerful than any sword or spear. The king, seeing David's unwavering faith, finally agreed. He was moved by the boy's courage and decided to give him a chance, despite the odds. He offered David his armor, but it was too heavy and cumbersome. David struggled to move in it, realizing that it would only hinder him in battle. David took only his sling and 5 smooth stones from the riverbed. He knew that he had to rely on his own skills and the tools he was familiar with. He walked towards Goliath, his steps light and determined. Each step he took was filled with purpose, his heart steady and his mind clear. Goliath laughed, his voice booming across the battlefield. The giant was amused by the sight of the small boy approaching him with nothing but a sling. "What are you going to do, little sheepherder? Throw rocks at me?" Goliath taunted, his voice dripping with scorn. But David's heart did not waver. He knew that this was his moment to prove his faith and courage. David faced Goliath without fear. He stood his ground, unwavering, despite the towering figure before him. The giant's shadow loomed large, but David's heart was filled with light and determination. He knew in his heart that God was with him. This divine assurance gave him the strength to confront the seemingly insurmountable challenge. The warmth of faith enveloped him, making him feel invincible. With a swift motion, he loaded a stone into his sling and let it fly. The air seemed to hold its breath as the stone soared through the sky, guided by David's unwavering faith and precision. The stone hit its mark, sinking into Goliath's forehead. The giant's eyes widened in shock, and for a moment, time stood still. The giant stumbled and fell, shaking the ground like an earthquake. The battle was won. The earth trembled under the weight of the fallen giant, echoing the triumph of David's courage. David, the shepherd boy, had defeated the mighty Goliath with courage and faith. His victory was not just physical, but also a testament to the power of belief and determination. The soldiers erupted in cheers. Their voices filled the air, celebrating the unexpected hero who had turned the tide of battle. David's victory reminded everyone that courage wasn't about size, but the size of your faith. His bravery became a beacon of hope, showing that true strength comes from within. From that day forward, David became a symbol of courage, inspiring others to face their own giants. His story was told and retold, a timeless reminder that with faith and courage, any obstacle can be overcome.